In today's video, we're going to give you a full strategy that you can use to find the best keywords and to optimize those keywords for your campaign as well. Because, as you're aware, with Google Ads, your keywords are really the foundation of how we're going to set up our entire account. And without the right keywords inside Google Ads, it's going to be impossible to succeed. So the keywords are really the first thing we want to get right at the very beginning. And if you're making a new Google Ads campaign, the first thing you want to do is find the right keywords to target. And to do that, we're always going to use the Google Keyword Planner. And we use the Keyword Planner over any other tools because it gives us direct first party data from Google itself on which keywords that, we're going to target are actually getting search volume in the areas that we're going to target. And all these other tools like SpyFu and SEMrush and so on might give you some extra ideas, but aren't going to have the same accuracy that Google's Keyword Planner is going to have in terms of the keywords that we're looking at. So the first thing we want to do before getting our keyword ideas is coming here to the location targeting, and we're just going to select the area that we're going to target. We can just keep this as Ireland for now, but if you're obviously targeting a very specific area as a service-based business, then you want to pick the specific area and not just leave it selected to the whole country. We're just going to enter in some phrases here to give us a big list of keyword ideas that we can use for our campaign. So let's just say that we are a roofing company, for example, and we want to, target high buying intent roofing keywords. So what we could put in, for example, is, roofer near me, roof repair near me, and so on. And once you put in a few keyword ideas, then all you have to do is press get results. And as you can see here, then from that alone, we've just gotten 767 keyword ideas potentially that we can use for our campaign. And what you can see here then is the big list of keywords and how many average monthly searches these keywords are getting. So just to give you a rough figure as well, that on average you want to have at least a few keywords with 100 to 1,000 average monthly searches. So that way you know that you're going to be able to run a campaign with keywords that are actually getting enough search volume in the first place. Because you could be targeting the best keywords in the world, but if they're not getting any searches, then nobody's going to see your ads. So we obviously want to make sure that we are targeting keywords that, have some level of search volume. And as you come across here to the right hand side as well, you're able to see the top of bid, low range, and high range, which is going to give you an idea of the cost per clicks of those keywords. And those cost per clicks are actually going to determine the basis of our cost per click, bid limit, and daily budget that we're going to use for our campaign. Now, if you'd like a more detailed insight on, how much budget you need in Google Ads to see results, the very first video on our channel walks you through how to do that in a lot more detail. But just so you know, it's these figures here for your, cost per clicks and your average monthly searches are the main figures that you want to be looking at when you see these keywords. But what we want to do then is to find the best keywords to use for our campaign, is to choose the keywords that have the highest level of intent. And by intent, I mean, keywords that indicate that the person is looking to get the job done right now. So things like roofer near me, roof repair near me, roofing companies near me. So you can see a trend here that, in general, any of the keywords that have near me attached to them are usually, some of the best keywords to target because they indicate that, the person on the other end is interested in getting a job done. And it's not just vague like roofer, for example. But if somebody's looking for near me, then the chances are that they're actually looking for a roofing company, so that they're good keywords to include. And just to give you some more ideas of keywords as well, so you can see a lot of these here say near me, so they're good keywords to target. But obviously, you might have near me, but then if someone's looking for suppliers, then that's obviously not a good keyword to target because that's not relevant to the service itself, but more so materials. So there's obviously things like that you want to be careful of. But a lot of these near me related searches, or if they say in my area, those are all good keywords to target for your campaign as they have the highest level of intent. So you don't want to target keywords that are really vague, just, like roof or roofer. You want to target keywords that are long tail. And by long tail, I mean, a few words in length. So 3 or 4 or 5 words in length, and are also like specific to what you're looking for as well. So if you want roof repair jobs, then up the top here you'd put in things like roof repair near me, and same with any other services that you offer. So that way down here then you're going to get a big list of keyword ideas for, searches that are actually relevant to what you offer. And what you can do then with the highest, high buying intent keywords that you can find is add all of these to a Google sheet, and this will form, the basis of our campaign because we have a long list, because we have a good list of keyword ideas now that we're actually going to target and make ads for. And what I would also do with your keywords as well at the very beginning, especially if you're making a new campaign, is to add your keywords as exact match keywords. Because at the very beginning, you're most likely going to have your ads appearing for a lot of irrelevant search terms, especially if it's a new campaign and Google's algorithm doesn't have any, sufficient data on what users are most likely to result in a conversion and that are actually looking to get the job done. And you can see here that we're using a lot of phrase match keywords, but that's because it's an aged campaign that's been running for over a year and has over 200 conversions. So Google's AI has a much better idea and insight as to, what users are most likely to turn into leads. But what you want to do when you add all your keywords to the campaign before you turn it on is just make sure that they're all added as exact match keywords just to minimize the amount of irrelevant searches that we appear for. So that way you know that most of the search terms that you get in your search terms report, which we'll go through in a minute, are actually going to be from searches that indicate that, the person is looking to get the job done. And what you can do then as well is just select all of your keywords and you'll have the option to change match type from, broad if that's what it's set to it as default to exact match. And that way then, you're not allowing Google to just show your ads to anything even remotely related to the keyword that you've selected. Now, what you can also do to minimize the amount of irrelevant search terms you appear for is adding in negative search keywords in advance. And that's just going to save you having your ads appear for a lot of irrelevant search terms that you do not want to appear for at all in the first place. So, to add your negative keywords, you can add them to the campaign level and you can add in your negative keyword list. And for your negative keywords, you can add in any competitor names in your area for the service that you offer that you can find. So, what you could do is go onto Google Maps, for example, and find a long list of the competitors for the services that you offer and add them as a long list as negative keywords to your campaign. And what you can also do as well, if you really want to make sure that you're only appearing for the most high quality, high buying intent search terms, is adding all of these here as broad match negatives in advance to your campaign. So basically, you're not going to have your ads appear for anything that mention any of these words essentially. So if anyone searches anything to do with how to, so if it's roofing, how to fix a roof, how much is a roof repair, price of roof repair, cost of roof repair cost calculator, and so on. Because for some services, there's online calculators where people can get a quote. But we don't want to appear for anything related to price, for example, estimate, quote, quotes, because those people might actually be interested in getting a job done, but they're not but not at the same level of intent as someone that just wants to get the job done right now, and they're not even thinking about price, but they're just looking for quality as opposed to the lowest price. And those are the kind of leads we want to get as much as possible. Same with supplies and supplier, for example, because we don't want to be having our ads appear for people that are just looking for materials as opposed to people that are looking for the service. Same with reviews, so they might just be looking for people with reviews on Google Maps but not necessarily the ad itself. Same with ideas or people looking for a grant. All of these kind of search terms here are things that we can add as broad match in advance, and it's going to massively reduce the amount of negatives that we're going to have to add over time because it covers so many different variations of searches that your ads can appear for. So you can just add those as negatives to your campaign in advance, and you just don't put any quotation marks or square brackets around these keywords, so that way they're added as broad match negatives by default. And what you also want to do with your keywords as well is instead of just having one long list of keywords that you add to your campaign and make ads for all those keywords as the one ad group, is you want to split all those keywords up into separate ad groups based on intent. So you can see here that, all of these keywords could fall under a roofing campaign, but they're all different services under roofing and guttering, for example. And as you can see here, the gutter cleaning keyword has specific gutter cleaning ads. Same with gutter repair, same with guttering services, same with roof cleaning, roof repairs, and so on. Because if all of these went into, just a generic roofing ad, then they wouldn't stand out anywhere near as much. Because if someone's looking for a gutter repair, for example, and then they just see like roofing company near you, then yeah, they might feel like, this company probably does what we're looking for, but they're always going to choose the company that says, gutter repairs if they're looking for gutter repair because that's exactly what they're looking to get done. So we're just trying to answer the customer's problem as much as possible. And splitting your keywords up into separate ad groups like this is the best way to make sure that you write highly relevant ads to the keywords that you're targeting. And then what you want to be doing as well is outside your actual keywords, go into your search terms, which is where you see the actual search terms that your ads have appeared for. And what you can do here then is go through your search terms report, and anything that is not relevant to what you offer, you want to add as negatives to your campaign. So, for example, here's a negative that we had added that had gotten 2 clicks, but it was someone looking for the prices of gutters and downpipes. And that had triggered the guttering services ad group. But if someone's looking for the prices of gutters, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're looking for a guttering service. So that's why we added that as a negative to the campaign. And even here, we added roofing companies near me to the roof repair ad group. So the roofing companies near me keyword would actually be perfect under a generic roofing ad group. But if somebody's looking for a roofing company near me and they see an ad specific to roof repair, it doesn't exactly answer their problem. So that's why we added that as a negative at the ad group level as well. So adding negatives to your campaign regularly is something that's really going to help, improve the quality of your keywords overall, and is the most important optimization task you can complete inside your account. Usually twice a week is what I'd recommend for your search term analysis. So that way then you don't have a massive list of search terms to go through. And what you can also do then as well, when you see relevant search terms appear in your search terms report that would actually perform really well in that ad group, is obviously you can add those new search terms as actual keywords to your campaign as well. So that way you're consistently adding more relevant keywords to your campaign and also blocking out the irrelevant search terms. So that way you're going to just keep improving slowly over time the quality of the search terms that you appear for, because you've been adding your negatives and you've been adding the relevant search terms that you do want to appear for. And then when you're in your actual keywords themselves, you're able to optimize these by looking at the most important stats. And usually that is, for example, how many clicks your keyword has been getting. Because if you tap by clicks here, you can see the keywords in your campaign that have been getting the most clicks. And if you have a keyword, let's say like this, for example, the gutter cleaning keyword on its own specifically has 156 clicks. Now, if for any reason that had 156 clicks but zero conversions, then it would probably be kind of concerning, and you'd need to do something about that, because you'd be getting loads of clicks but no conversions to justify keeping it in place. But we had 15 conversions for the 150 clicks, so a 10% conversion rate, which isn't bad. So you can justify keeping it in that case. But what you really want to keep an eye out for is keywords that have a lot of clicks but no conversions. So really, your clicks and conversions are the most important aspects when it comes to your keywords. Now, obviously, things like your click-through rate as well is really important, because that's the most important aspect in determining your overall quality score. So you want to make sure that the click-through rate is somewhat high, because that way, it's a good indication that the keyword is relevant to the ad of that ad group. But I would mostly keep an eye out for keywords that are getting a lot of clicks but not getting conversions. And that's really where you need to do some work to make sure that you're actually getting conversions from the clicks you're paying for. And what you can do as well, if you notice that you're getting a keyword with a lot of clicks but no conversions, for example, is that you don't necessarily need to just come over here and pause it straight away. But what you can do instead is select that keyword and go to search terms, and then you're able to see the search terms that were actually triggered by that specific keyword in particular. So, for example, that gutter cleaning phrase match keyword triggered quite a few search terms that we actually added as negatives to the campaign. For example, clean gutters price, someone just wanting to know the price of gutter cleaning, we didn't want to appear for that. Gutter and window cleaning near me, we didn't want to appear for anything that mentioned window cleaning, because we don't have any window cleaning mentioned in our ad. And quite another few negatives for that one keyword alone. For example, a competitor name here, and other search terms that are irrelevant to the keyword itself. So the gutter cleaning keyword on its own is perfect, but you might have a lot of irrelevant search terms under that have been getting a lot of clicks, and have been contributing to the lower conversion rate. And you mightn't realize that the keyword itself is actually fine, but you've been getting a lot of clicks for search terms that are causing it to have a low conversion rate. So I'd actually look at adding negatives for the search terms that are irrelevant and have been getting clicks before you go ahead and just start pausing the keywords themselves. Now, I hope this video helps when it comes to finding the best keywords to target, adding them correctly to your campaign, adding negatives to your campaign as well in advance to make sure that you're appearing for the highest quality search terms possible, and actually optimizing the keywords as well that you have in place. Now, if you do have any questions at all about, targeting keywords correctly inside Google Ads, or anything else related to Google Ads in general, feel free to leave a comment down below, And if you do like this kind of Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as we'll be posting all things related to Google Ads here daily. And hopefully, we'll see you in the next video.